Hello and welcome, Lily. Thank you for being here. How is your day going, my friend? Welcome in, everybody. If you're watching and you don't know who I am Mercy, the head game master at HereThereBeMonsters. We're back with another Working Wednesday stream. Today is Wednesday, the 2nd of July, 2025, and I'm glad you're joining me. Even if you're not into D&D stuff, or if you're not a game master yourself, maybe you've got some other D&D things to work on, or even you just need to clean your house or whatever. Now's a great opportunity to join me, do a little bit of co-working. I've got 30 minutes on the clock. We'll take a 5-minute break. We'll put 30 minutes on the clock, and then we'll get out of here. We did have session last week for both Kingdom and Chronicles, and as a reminder, or I guess an FYI, if you haven't heard...
YouTube stream is now live.
Thank you, Lumia. As a reminder, or FYI, if you haven't heard, we will be resuming our YouTube uploads of our D&D campaigns next week after the holiday weekend here in the U.S. So it's still going to take us a little while to get through them. My goal is at least one per week, ideally one per week per campaign, but we got to kind of ramp that up and work that into our new workflow. So we'll get there. We'll get caught up, but it'll probably be going to take most of July, especially since we're not starting until the second week of July to do it. But we'll get caught back up. We're sorry to our YouTube folks that have been watching the campaign, especially if you're not able to make it to the Twitch streams. I know you've been on hold for a couple months now, but we'll get there. Tasks for today, we need to give experience for the last session. We need to get our session notes for next session ready. And last session had a huge character reveal. So I definitely want to make sure that I get that stuff noted while it's fairly fresh in my mind. Then one other thing that I couldn't fit in here, which is it's the new month, which means that we have a new bundle or whatever they call those, I can never remember, of Hero Forge stuff to claim. And then if we've got time at the end, we're going to work on a little homebrew system for how Rubato, or what roll or whatever Rubato needs to make to scavenge up like spell components. I guess it's pertinent for Druge as well, but Rubato being the wizard is the most invested in that, I do believe. Packs is what they call them. I really think they should call them bundles. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Okay, hold on. Gotta get OBS open on this computer so that way y'all can actually see it too. Also, a quick reminder, if you're watching live or you're watching VOD, make sure you put the chat on live chat because top chat's garbage. Look at the... Oh, and my head's covering it up well here. Oh, no. There we go. It's a freaking scenery pack. I've never seen that before. I've only ever seen them make minis. This is, as far as I know, brand new for the packs on Hero Forge. Now, I'm curious how exactly these import into something like Tailspire. But I love these a lot. Although I feel like whoever made that well should have made the ropes a bit smaller. But it's not bad. Stack of boxes is good. I love the town message board, quest board, etc. This is a super, super cool set. Like I said, I'm really curious how these come into Tailspire. Do they come in as like props and stuff? Or do they load in like their miniatures? Village square bustles with activity, blah, blah, blah. At the edge of the town square, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it doesn't say. Well, we'll claim it. Oh. This one is a straight up download. Oh. Oh, interesting. I feel like they did not do a very good job of messaging around this. So It doesn't. It looks like it's not going to directly import, but I might be able to add them. What am I downloading? What is this? Town scenery underscore Bolton underscore board is the name of the folder. Zip folder. It comes with, that's really cool actually. It comes with Bamboo Labs STLs ready to go. It also comes with the Unity 3D files. There's probably a way to import that stuff. Interesting. Having trouble opening my file. Try a different browser. So I got to download one of them. Well, I think this is probably a quest for another day, is the short version. But I did claim it. It is linked to our Hero Forge account, so it should be relatively easy to get back to later. I just tried to open Trello. Trello's beta is wrapping up soon. I didn't realize it was in beta technically. Starting in July, all new features you experienced in beta will be released to everyone. After beta, scheduling in Planner and AI for quick capture will be available only in standard and premium plans. That's fine. I wasn't using literally either of those features. Okay, well, that was an interesting rabbit hole. I did not expect terrain. I'm curious to see if it ends up being useful or not. If there's anything in the Tailspire subreddit yet. Tailspire. Does not look like it's been addressed there yet. Okay. Let's make myself a note then to circle back. Everybody's favorite phrase to that later. Um, I'm surprised that it didn't launch with anything. Because with any support for Tailspire, because they have like an official partnership. Okay, well, that's dealt with. I don't get to put a check mark down because that was the one that didn't fit. It's probably going to be easier for me to do session notes before XP. That's funny that I didn't end up using that from last time. Okay. What did I name that episode? Go to video producer. Oh no, but it's not going to show up because that wasn't the beginning of the stream. Agents of Cold. It's a little like, I feel like that doesn't mean anything unless you know what it means. Ooh, I know. At least it's a working title. Avalanche Aftermath. So I think first things first, I gotta finish cleaning up session 39 notes before we start working on the session 40 ones. Oh. Oh, weird. Started typing and it was using a different font. I got too caught up in the moment and didn't end up using one of the mechanics that I was going to use, but that's fine. Oh, I just stumbled on my solution. Okay, I had a thing that I was debating about. I'll be very vague, but I just in my notes there's something that I had written down as an idea, and I just pieced two things together. Hello, Kale. How are you doing? Also, what the heck is this symbol, YouTube? Number 1. Wait. Apparently. Okay. Apparently there's top fans now, whatever that means exactly here on YouTube. And Kale's our number 1 fan, despite Kale and Lily having the same number of fan points. I'm going to have to go find a blog post about that. You're getting points for each message or something? You have 75 now. She has 25. Yeah. I think it might have to do with per message, question mark? I have no idea what this is or how it works or if it does anything. Do you guys see the symbol? I'm curious. Oh, only I see it. Oh, wait, no. He was saying no to Lily, not to me. Okay. You guys can see it as moderators. I'm curious if anybody ends up tuning in who's not a moderator, if they want to weigh in and let us know if they see them. Lily. Scoring beads with Little Miss. That's awesome. Have fun. I saw it before. He was wondering why you had it. Is that looking from his account or looking at chat with your account? Hey, Kale, where we left off before your Guardians of the Galaxy dance off there. Did you guys go into, I forgot. Did you go like into the forest? That's what's like in my mind, but I don't remember for sure. Correct, from his account. Interesting. Kale sent his 3 messages. He's gone. No, he's back. Okay. I thought you Homer Simpson this. You went in the woods away from people. Told your castle that you're leaving. Okay. Guess that one. Okay. This is one of the reasons why I love doing at least like broad to medium strokes prep, is because I would have never, I don't think I would have ever come up with this idea on my own if I didn't have like a brainstorm sheet. And then I was sitting here like, how am I going to solve this narrative / mechanical problem? And then I was looking at my ideas sheet and bam, solution right there. Can you tell me when Pixie's ready so you can head to the computer to play your game? I mean, that won't be until after we're done here, probably. But yes, I'll. If I'm on late / if she gets home early, I will do that. Yeah, she probably won't be home until about an hour from now, which I think is about when you're supposed to start. we've just about gotten through all the days and encounters and everything that I had pre-rolled from like 2 months ago, because we did a ton of that. There was like 2 working streams in a row where we just did a bunch of pre-rolling, which was really nice. So I'm gonna need to do that again soon. I might even need to do that before next session. We've got probably 2 more weeks before that, so I'm not gonna squirrel and do that today. Okay, I do need to write more notes here though. The stuff that I'm writing down here definitely is going to need to be noted somewhere else, because we did some on the fly world building, so that needs to live somewhere, not just in session notes. Again, I don't know if we're going to get into that today or not, but I do need to get it written down. Sorry, I have a lot to write down here. Well, I can think of it all. Also, you're making your way through 7 season 2 and you like it so far. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Like I said, it's not. I hope it was difficult to couch it, because like it's not bad, but I think season 1 is some of the best TV ever. I think season 2 is good, but not quite that caliber. But also, it's very different. But I'm glad you're having fun watching it, regardless, and we definitely did too. Ooh, let's see. Here's another thing I need to double check. Make sure that I don't get the auras wrong. Oh no, did I not write that down? I believe divination and transmutation was what I said. Okay. It's so hard. Like I said, we were doing a lot of kind of on the fly world building there. Some of which was rooted in things that I had kind of planned out before, and some of which was like completely completely off the cuff, not rooted in anything existent. So that's why I want to be really sure that I get that written down. I gotta kind of think through that whole scene though. So there was that. Okay. Oh, here's another thing. I'm glad that I thought of that. Oh my gosh, stop auto-correcting Skabosh to scratch, boss. I've even put it into my dictionary and Google Docs still refuses. You might have just confirmed that your daughter has a type of OCD. When you asked her to sort beads, she was like, yeah, I love sorting beads. I get what you're saying. I mean, obviously that's a big leap and there's a lot of steps between here and there, but it's definitely worth noting. Presumably, if you use that term, you may have already done some other thinking or researching or whatever. Okay. I think I got everything noted. Now we're gonna need to figure out how the heck I'm gonna store that for like long term. But session notes are, I think, cleaned up. So when I get back from break, that time freaking flew. How late am I? Oh, only 33. Only 33 minutes. When I get back, we'll set up the session notes for session 40, and that was definitely the most complex thing that we had to do today. So I think we'll still probably get through the whole checklist, to be honest with you. But I'm going to go bring in the garbage and recycle. Nope, just garbage, no recycling this week. And get a few steps in, get some water, and do a Pokemon Go battle. This will be 5 minutes, maybe 6 or 7. And then we'll come back and get another 30 minutes on the clock. If you haven't been up off your booty in a little while, now's a great time to get up, move around a little, refill your own water, because we know you haven't had enough today. And I will see you in a couple minutes. All right, we're back. I shiny buttoned my way through the victory screen for my Pokemon Go battle, so I can't show you, but I did win. Quite handily. I actually did not even have to bring out my third Pokemon. Thank you, thank you. And hello, Isadora. How are you doing today? There we go. I'm doing good, thank you. I'm doing good. The last couple weeks, I mean, really the last month, but especially the last 2 to 3 weeks have been crazy busy. But good things. Have been accomplishing a lot. I've spent a lot of time with a lot of people that I'm very close to in real life, both family and friend wise. Our like new business venture started a second YouTube channel for Magic the Gathering content. Is off to a good start. We had D&D session last weekend, which of course is always exciting. In general, I really, other than my sinus infection, can't complain. And I should be getting meds for my sinus infection, like literally in an hour or two. Thank you. I appreciate it. Wait, did I rename the original on accident? God dang it. Fine. You know, I can't remember for sure, to be honest, and I apologize. Your name looks familiar to me, but I cannot remember if we have spoken before. Are you new here? Either way, I appreciate you joining us today. Brand new. That's awesome. Well, I'm Mercy from HereThereBeMonsters. My wife Pixie and I have run this channel and a Twitch channel by this name together. We love all sorts of games, but the YouTube channel where you are focuses on our Dungeons and Dragons content. We play about twice a month on 1.5 times a month, probably on average, on Twitch, and then we upload those sessions here to the YouTube channel. I also do these Working Wednesday streams. Most Wednesdays, I'd say 3 Wednesdays a month on average, where I work on behind the scenes stuff for our games. And then later this year, we're hoping to get some scripted content for our D&D stuff going as well. Thank you. Our D&D campaign takes place in a custom campaign setting called the World of Rin. There's actually 2 campaigns that we run that both are in that world in the same timeline, but separate adventuring parties on their own separate adventures. I first developed the World of Rin back in, I think it was 2012. It might have been 2013 for a table game that I was running at the time. It has over 1,000 play hours within the setting. It's a kind of Lord of the Rings-esque, like gritty, fairly like realism-based fantasy, kind of low level, low power, low economy, like overcome the odds to save the world sort of thing. Happy to answer any questions or whatever, or if you just want to chill, that's a-okay also. That sounds incredible. Well, thank you. You've been a lurker with D&D for ages, but have never gotten to play. You just started jamming a Cypher system game earlier this year, first attempt at any sort of TTRPG, and you're running yourself. I'm sorry that you haven't had a chance to play, but to play D&D at least. But I'm super proud of you for taking on that challenge and jumping into the GM seat. Heck yeah! I'm not super familiar with the Cypher system, but I'd love to hear a little bit about it if you don't mind sharing. That's so cool, though. Like, brava. And hello, looks like Jaquald. Thanks for coming by. That sounds pretty fun. I'm never sure because YouTube can have a bit of a delay for folks. I'm not sure if you were responding to my description of our world or Isadora's description. Because Isadora's also sounds very cool. Responded to Isadora only just, oh, gotcha. No worries. Well, welcome in. Right before that, I was describing the custom campaign setting for the world that I GM in, which, sorry, is a repeat for everybody else, but since you just got here, so we're all on even footing. I first created the setting back in 2012, 2013, where we played a table game in the setting for about 5 years. And then there was a few year hiatus, and then I've been running an on-stream game that we record and post here on YouTube for about 3 years now, 2.5 years in the setting as well. So there's over 1,000 play hours in the setting. It's called the World of Rin, and the short version is, I think, kind of Lord of the Rings, like kind of grittier, more like realism-based fantasy, high stakes, high danger, low level, kind of low economy, overcome the odds to save the world sort of setting. Back to Kickstarter for a Cypher System offshoot for the Magnus Archives, a horror podcast you adore. Oh, cool. I've not heard of it, but that sounds neat. Felt really inspired to give it a try once you got your hands on it. That's so cool. I love that you just jumped into it. And, you know, honestly, my story is not all that different. Well, I guess thematically not all that different. I started playing D&D back in, like I said, 2012-ish. And my wife and I totally fell in love with it. And it was like, man, we want to play more than once a week. And my GM was like, hey, that's awesome. I don't want to GM more than once a week, which is just fair enough. It can be a lot of work. So I'd only played, I don't actually know, 6, 8 times, maybe 10 sessions at most. And then I was like, all right, just like I was saying for you, like, be the change you want to see in the world, right? So I just started buying books and started making a world and GMing. And here we are. So I had only the most modest more experience with TTRPGs than you did when I started also. Also, for those of you that are new, sometimes when we're doing these streams, I show you what I'm working on, and sometimes I don't. It depends on how secret it is. I do try to keep these streams no or light spoilers for folks that are that do engage with the world of Ren. But like I said, that being said, I'm happy to answer questions or whatever, or to direct you. We do have a public Google Drive. There's not a ton in it, but there's a handful of documents about some of the various faiths in Rin and some of the player characters' personal projects and whatnot that I'm happy to share if anybody's curious. There's definitely more that needs to be added to that, but we're working on it. What inspired me to come up with the setting? Fantastic question. Thank you. Let me. Do I have it within arm's reach? No, I don't. Let me grab it. So we actually play in the D&D 3.5 system, which is where Pathfinder originally comes from. Pathfinder is like D&D 3.6 for those of you that don't know. The original Pathfinder, Pathfinder 1. I think as far as being a viewer goes, the system doesn't really matter too much, right? It's more of a framework for how we tell stories and build worlds. But I have a complete collection of all the 3.5 books, all the first party 3.5 books. There's like 97. I don't remember how many exactly. But I built that up because I started buying all of them secondhand on eBay when I started getting into DMing, and I'm super glad now, all these years later, that I did. But when the time came that it was like, okay, I have all these books now. What in the frick do I do? I started thumbing through the books, and I wish I could get my camera easily pointed at my bookshelf because it's pretty dang cool. But I have a picture of it that I can find, but that might be more trouble than it's worth. I started going through the books and honestly just kind of looking for inspiration, and I landed on this book, Deities and Demigods by Rich Redmond, Skip Williams, and James Wyatt. And I just thought that the name was provocative. It got my attention. So I started thumbing through it, and I started world building with the like religious and divine magic kind of aspect of things. But then as I was kind of like storytelling, through what gods there were and whatnot, I was like, okay, then why might a god like this exist? What powers might they have? What might they have done in the past? What might their followers look like, etc. And then kind of built outwards from there. Like, okay, how would followers of these gods interact with each other and that kind of thing. It broke the gridlock for me. Yeah, thank you. What about yourself? Are you running a module, or whatever, something pre-published, like a published setting or module or whatever, or have you done world building of your own? And to be clear, too, even though I personally get fulfillment out of world building, I think sometimes people that do that kind of present it as being like superior in some way. I don't think of it that way. I'm a big proponent of what's best is what works best for you and your table. So I don't think there's anything inherently better or worse about world building or using published material or whatever. Hi, McNick. What's up? The drow swashbuckler tried to use acrobatics to get to you without you getting a free attack, but he failed and you got a crit. Let's go. Nice. Shalendor. Super Earth. Yes, I heard a little bit about that. I haven't had a chance to dig into it yet, but what I'm doing right now as we're chatting, by the way, is working on my notes. We're here. I skipped that one for now. I figured if I'd gone through my notes, it would be easier to do the XP. So we started with that. Your friends have never heard the podcast the game is based on, so you wrote a little one-shot in a modern setting in the world of the Magnus Archives. Oh, that's so cool. Heck yeah. Also, there's no such thing as a one-shot. They don't exist, I'm convinced. At best, one-shots are 2 to 3 shots, and usually they just become campaigns, I think. Helldivers after? Maybe. I do need to get going. So the videos for the Couple of Packs YouTube channel, where we post our trading card game Magic the Gathering content. Ideally, I want those getting posted in the mornings, at like 8 a.m. But I haven't been getting them done the night before, and so they're not getting published until like noon to 1 o'clock. So I'm trying to get ahead on my editing. So we'll have to see, McNick. I might be able to do like 1 or 2 drops really quickly, but I also really should be working on that editing. I don't know. I'm hesitant to commit. You're finding that out. You'll have freedom in my name. Thank you. On that note, for anybody that's here, if you like trading card games, my wife and I run a second YouTube channel. It's brand new. We just started it like 2 weeks ago, called A Couple of Packs that I just mentioned. Which, as long as I didn't typo it, that should be a working link for it. Right now we're focusing on pack openings, and we do fun little challenges where like the winner gets the dessert of their choice, or the loser has to mow the lawn, or that sort of thing. We're gonna get into like collecting and some longer videos as well. But if you like trading card games, and you like the vibes here, you might like it over there too. So let's see. In-game day, our next session will start in the afternoon on the 17th day of late spring, 561. It is clear and calm with a minor heat wave. The rivers are running full and the moon is waxing. That's the setting for next session. Get that out of the way. Oh, one thing that I will do though, because we've got some new folks here today. We play on a virtual tabletop, and when I get to a stopping point here in a minute, I'll give you a little taste of our 3D virtual tabletop. If you've never seen Tailspire before, it's probably like nothing you've ever seen. It's pretty dang cool. But I want to finish my thought and my notes here first. Yeah, and I need to pre-roll some random encounters again here soon. Like really soon. We probably do need to do that before next session. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Deleted something that I shouldn't have. CMD is Combat Maneuver Defense, aka Combat Maneuver AC. CMB and CMD make it easier to deal with combat maneuvers. I think I get what you're saying. That's a lot, though. You're trying to world build right now. You're making a full world for an entirely homebrew setting in the middle of running it. So, yes and no. But I think it's really cool that you're taking on world building. Is this your first time doing it? What I will tell you is, from my experience, I think it's actually an opportunity to be doing it while you're playing in it. Because as you play, like, you'll think of stuff. If you could somehow sit down and do all of your world building in one go before anybody touched it, you'd probably run into some stuff that like didn't fit right, or didn't fit right is the best like way I can think to word that. But as you're playing, you'll think of stuff like, oh, this fits perfectly with this, or whatever, that you're only going to encounter through play. So, not to be contrarian. Yeah, exactly. Stuff that you didn't think of. So not to be contrarian, but to encourage you to kind of shift your paradigm of how you're thinking about that. in that it will probably actually help you build an even better world. I apologize. Normally I don't answer the phone, but my wife's supposed to be picking up a prescription for me. I'll be right back. Sorry, I don't know how much of that I got out before I had to answer the phone, but my wife's going to pick up a prescription for me after work, and I thought maybe she was calling me with like an issue, or maybe I needed to like give them consent on the phone or whatever. This is your first time world building. This campaign was actually a first time DMing. Oh, that's awesome. Well, as we were just talking about with Isadora, I really applaud you for taking that on. Mostly there are way more people that want to play than there are that want to GM. So I think that's amazing. Well, so one of the things that we do during these working streams, also I'm going to throw some bonus time on the clock, partly because I've been the phone call and whatnot, and also because I've been on a bit of a roll and I have actually been really productive. So I want to ride that wave while I can. So I'm going to add a little bit of time to the clock. But if you ever want, if you ever have like thoughts or questions, or like, man, I'm having trouble like problem solving this thing I'm running into as a DM or whatever, you can always pop into these chats. We do these streams most Wednesdays. I can't say every, but most Wednesdays, probably three per month on average. We start around 3:30 Pacific, and then we go for like an hour to an hour and a half. So you're always welcome to pop in here. Or for you or anybody else who's curious, if you're a Discord kind of person, we have a Discord server as well, discord.gg/HereThereBeMonsters. It is a variety gaming Discord, so there's all sorts of other stuff and cat pictures and recipes and workouts and all sorts of other things in there too. But there is a dedicated section for just D&D stuff. So if we can help you in any way, please feel free to bounce questions off of us. Whether that's off of me personally, or oftentimes other people in chat are also, doing similar things. So they may be able to help. Let me toss some time to our watchers. That didn't work very well. Finish with the beads. Very nice. Oh, that was Pixie that called. She said she thinks she'll still be home by 5:30 to start then. She was wondering if you could post something in the Stardew channel and at Stardew people to let them know apparently you guys decided you're doing Core Keeper tonight instead. Do 20 minutes on the clock. Oh. It didn't update. Refresh. There it goes. Thank you. All right. I'm at a spot where I want like a super quick mental break, and I want to show y'all Tailspire because it's super cool, and we built some really, really cool stuff in Tailspire. So get ready for this. If it'll ever load, there it goes. No, maybe. Why? There we go. Now you see it. So this is a real down and dirty model, not one that I personally built, but it's a great example of how awesome Tailspire is and how quickly it can just like suck you into a setting, right? Doesn't that look freaking amazing? But some stuff that we did build. Not that one. This is probably the most impressive. Do you have a specific notes app that you use? I will come back to that thought in just a sec. Good question, though. The short version, no, but I'll tell you a little bit more about what I do in just a moment. Do I have... Oh, those buttons won't work here to show the map, I don't think. I thought I made... Hold on. What happens if I press this button? Nothing. Okay. That's fine. Yeah, I need to set something up for these YouTube streams where I can like easily show you all the like the world map and whatnot. So this is Capstone Mountain. And on the other side of it here, this is the town of Capstone. Now, there's still a lot to be done, but still, this is pretty dang cool. Thank you, Lily. You can also set like environmental stuff. So for the sake of seeing better, I'll make it like midday so it's brighter. We've got a whole like wharf and all sorts of businesses and houses. We have the manor of the like the ladies' manor, the top politician of Capstone. We've got like a couple of town squares. Got this giant church with accompanying courtyard where we've had many scenes. Oh, actually, I should remove that chair. That's not there anymore. That was for a funerary service. These military bases. So there's two bases on the corner, on the northwest and northeast corners of Capstone. Really cool. Thank you. Also, these are not just shapes, by the way. Let me peel the tops off of them. But, so like these barracks actually have stuff in them. Like these are designed spaces. It's such a cool program. It's so much fun. The stables here. It's so much fun to mess around with. So yeah, like I said, lots more to be done. And admittedly, and to be clear, I did not do all of this either. I did probably a third to a half of what you see. Probably about a quarter-ish of it, it was made by other members of our community who help with our builds. And the other quarter is from a Tailspire resource called Tails Tavern, where other people share their resources. But we did do the majority of it. I'm very proud of it. I mean, there's definitely other like cool boards here. Yes, Shalendor. Like a cool like farmer's homestead kind of thing. Got ruins of old Capstone. This one is not one that I did. This is from Tales Tavern. But a very cool board. None of those are particularly well, I guess the river one's kind of cool. No, not that though. We want Catlatin Tower. This is oh right. Forgot what we were using this board for last time. This is one that I made. Who is flying and why? God, I need to stop littering my boards with old fights. I got to clean up after myself. This is one that I made. This is a very, very important mountain pass. So there's a river that runs. A river runs through it. And then there, admittedly, I haven't built out the other half of the board because usually that doesn't matter for the like scenes that take place here. But there's a small fort and a tower and whatnot that guards the mountain pass. But I freaking love Tailspire. It's so atmospheric. It's so fun to build in. The last thing, and then I'll get back to what I was doing. But let me go. Technically a separate campaign. Our player characters have been deeded a fort that will be named Fort Leona that is going to be constructed per their specifications, and then they will be in command of it. So we went through the whole process of using, there's a book called The Stronghold Builder's Guidebook, also not within arm's reach right now, but super cool book for building strongholds. I think there's a different name for them in 5th edition. I'm trying to blank on what they call them now. But anyway, so we went through the whole process, and they had a budget from the crown because Capstone had come under attack, and they contributed to the defense of the town. It was really cool, actually. We had over 2,000 belligerents in that battle. I've never heard of anything like it in D&D before. But after the battle, when the town very, very nearly fell, and I would have let it. I'm one of those people who believes that the world is the world, and the world is not a special baby that needs protecting, and sometimes stuff gets broken, and that's okay. But Capstone did just barely survive, and in the aftermath, the crown decided to invest in some new frontier forts to help hopefully head off any future attacks, or at least be early warnings. So they got to choose what was going to go in their fort, and then we've been in the process of modeling it out. The only thing that's not fully done yet, although it's close, is the kitchen. Oop, too far. Which I think is looking really good. This was a build by a community member and one of our players. But all the other buildings for the fort are done. We just need to actually do the terraforming and, build the fort. But they get a small barracks. They will have a magical laboratory for their wizard. This is, oh shoot, I'm drawing a blank on the name. I almost said the Fool and Flask, but that's the wrong tavern. I'm afraid I can't remember off the top of my head, but this is the little tavern and public house that will be at their fort. I love like peeking in the window at the fire burning. I think it's super cool. Also, these aren't just models. You can, in fact, put miniatures in them. Right now, most of what I've been showing you doesn't have a lot of miniatures in them for a number of reasons. A small stables. This is the Castellan's office, or Castellan's office. The person who will run the fort on their behalf, like the logistics and stuff. This is a shrine to one of the archangels of Banah. Banah is the primary deity of the region where we are adventuring. He is known as the Peacebringer. This is the armory combined with a watchtower. Oops. And these are all builds that we did. None of these are like prefabs or anything like that. This is the like staff and servants quarters for the fort. So like the civilians, if you will. And I think this is last. Yeah, the dining hall. Which this was also a community build done by one of our moderators. Although they have a 5-person party, so I guess one person stands. But yeah, so those are the makings of Fort Leona. Hopefully to be actually terraformed and constructed soon, TM. But that's a quick, whatever that is, 10-15 minute showcase of Tailspire. Super cool. No hashtag ad or anything, just a happy user. Rubato can sit on someone's lap. You know whose lap he wants to sit on. So, anyway, Jake Walt, if you're still here, I do apologize. That was a longer digression than I'd intended. But notes, let me know if you're still here, and I'll talk a little bit about note keeping, especially digital note keeping. Okay. So back to what I was doing, which is actually note keeping, which is I think what inspired that question from Jake Walt. And I suppose even if they're not here, it's worth talking about because there might be other people that are here that would be curious about it. So it is something that I really struggled with when transitioning from a table game to a digital game. And I still struggle with sometimes, but this little folio actually houses many of the deep dark. Oh, and the pencil attacking me. Houses many of the deep secrets of the world of Ren. And I love being able to grab this and thumb through it and like muse on things and whatnot. But and that you can't really do that digitally. It doesn't really work. So in a way, I miss the transition from physical to digital because I like being able to go and grab this stuff. I'm trying to find the original map for you, but I think it's in my other folio. I have another one that's like full of player information, but just being able to grab this and be like, oh, map. Like there's the teeniest, tiniest like hint of the outside of the DM map. Like bam, I have it right there. Has been a bit of an adjustment. However, the flip side is it's much easier to cross-reference things. So, for instance, literally what I'm working on right now is we did a lot of kind of world building on the fly during our session last Saturday. And right now, I have that all written down in my session notes. But that's not really an easy or obvious place to go and reference something, right? Like if 3 months from now I need to reference some of that world building for whatever reason, it's going to be hard to be like, wait, what session did that happen in? And go back and find it and whatever. So what I've taken to doing is like really serious file organization in Google Drive. And then cross-referencing things with hyperlinks. So instead of letting that information live in my session notes, what I'm going to do, like I said, literally right now, that's what I'm doing as we speak, is I'm going to go to my world building folder. I don't know that I have a subfolder that it necessarily needs to go in. I don't think so. But I'm going to make a Google Doc and give it a name. And then I'm going to cut everything out, all those notes, all those world building notes out of my session notes. Boop. I'm going to throw them in that new Google Doc. Then I'm going to go back to my session notes with a link to the, so I'm going to copy the link for the new Google Doc. And then I'm going to say in my session notes, blank, no spoilers, world building and party, world building and party interactions. And then I'm going to highlight that and turn it into a hyperlink. And then I'm going to link that to my new document for world building about this subject. And bam. Now, if I ever want to find that information again, it's easily findable in my world building folder, but also there's a hyperlink in the appropriate session notes where the thing took place. There is a hyperlink directly to that file. So it's that type of stuff that you obviously cannot do in with physical media that I found that I really do like about digital stuff. So, what about things like World Anvil or making your own wiki or whatever? Frankly, I would love to have a wiki for the World of Ren. World Anvil itself, I have not messed with, but for one, most of those things aren't free. Or a lot of those things at least aren't free. And for two, some of the information I want to be hidden, right? So I've found that a highly organized Google Drive with cross-referencing like hyperlinks and stuff has worked quite well for me. Obsidian's also quite nice for note-taking, free and open source. Yes, I did look at that a little bit. I need to look at it some more. Obsidian started existing long after this project did. In fact, long after even the digital part of this project did. So I part of what has held me off from looking into it more is at this point it would be quite daunting to translocate everything over there. But I am glad to hear that you've had a good experience with it. Especially since I already have a lot of things that are currently in physical format that I have not gotten digitized yet. So if moving to another platform, I'd be like 2 steps removed from some of those things. My clock is counting down, but like I said, I have been actually pretty focused and pretty productive today. So I think I am going to throw one more extension on there so that I can actually finish today's to-do list. Gotten a lot of other stuff done behind the scenes, and then obviously we had our little digression there with Tailspire as well. Notes. The clock is more like a guideline than an actual rule. Okay, there's that and that. Start of this, so one of the like character projects that we have going on is we have our Knight Paladin multi-class is currently war training his horse Amina, and that's actually one of the things that you can track. Oh god, is it world info? I don't know if this command will work. Nope, I'll have to look it up. But you can actually see his progress war training his horse, and we're behind a few rolls. We need to catch up on that. Also, chatbot. What is that? I think, or is it D&D info? It might be that. Hey, there it is. It is D&D info. I'm going to add world info to that command, though, so that they both work. Like I said, there's a ton of stuff that's not in that public Google Drive that I want to be in there, so it's a work in progress as well. But there is some stuff. Some breakdowns on a few of our deities and their faiths, and the world map, obviously, well, the kingdom map at least is in there, and you can check in on the warhorse training and a few other things. A talking horse that's a rogue, the son of a I'm assuming that's supposed to be horse-headed minotaur and a centaur. That is kind of fun. That is kind of fun. Okay. So now I need to look at the monster entry for something that I won't say out loud because that would be spoilery for anybody that is following along. Oh, excuse me. One of the other things that I do really like about digital note taking instead is I can do things like I just did, which is to look up the monster stat block on the SRD, and then in my notes just link that. Bam, done. Okay. Now what I need to do is I need a deal. I need a bargain. Oh, I never added that time to the clock. Well, whatever. The work does not end now, obviously. Not done yet, and I'm having fun. Also, if you're having fun, especially if you're new here, if you missed my intro, I'm Mercy, the head game master here at the Monsters. We run 2 campaigns in our custom setting, the world of Rin, and I'm currently working on some post-session stuff from our session this last weekend and kind of planning ahead for our next session. Do these working Wednesday streams most Wednesdays every month. I'd say about 3 Wednesdays per month, starting about 3:30 Pacific and going for like 1.5 hours plus or minus a little bit. So if you're having fun, would super appreciate it if you'd throw a thumbs up on the live stream. That's a great, easy, free way to tell YouTube that you like what we're doing and that they should show it to more people. And also, if you think you might want to come back sometime, I'd love to have you put a subscription on the channel. All of our session videos live here, although we are behind by a few, but we're working on that. And there is some scripted D&D content, both like kind of mechanics stuff and also some like in-world lore videos that will be coming later this year. Okay, so I think we've got that. That. So for our day, we've got 2 random encounters have been rolled. We've got a skill challenge, and then we've got a story hook, which I need to flesh that story hook out a little bit more. That's probably not a today problem. That's probably a next Wednesday problem. But it is a step in the right direction. So now I need to go here. Ding 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 ding. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm looking at some kind of like trope archetypes and whatnot for some ideas. I would love to say what it is, but it's pertinent to our next session, so I'm being especially vague because, like I said, I try not to be too spoilery during these. Ooh, that's a really fun one. Okay, I like this one the best, I think. Welcome back. How'd your held dive go? With pizza, nice. I'm gonna have some pizza myself in a couple hours. Fighter with a dash of more fighter. Yo, dog, I heard you like fighters. You feeling because your teammates are traitors? They gasp. Okay, I think those notes are done, or at least done enough. Hey, Pixie's home. You made a pretty good time, actually. There's definitely some more work to do to prep for next session, but the notes are prepped, which is what my what my task was for today's working stream. I got some of them done completely, and I fleshed out the notes with notes of like, I need to do this still, I need to do this still. Trade the traders. Yeah, I do have a lot of highlights. We have a lot of kind of like semi-loose ends right now. So that's the good news is for next Wednesday's working stream, I already have a huge agenda for what we'll be working on. We have plenty to do there. Thank you. Yeah. Sorry, saying hi to the waifu really quickly. You're not crazy. I was muted. Oh, looks like she might want to come say hi. Y'all should see her and her. So when we play, oh, Isadora said hello. When we play, she wears full costume and makeup. She's all about that. It should already be muted from earlier. Well, thank you. I can actually, I know a roundabout way that I can show you her makeup. Let me open up Blue Sky. Can I easily switch? Yeah, switch account. I have 6 notifications. Profile. That's weird. One of my posts that has a picture, the picture's not loading. So weird. Here we go. Here we go. Found one. That's a heckin' awesome picture. Also, the little monsters on the wall behind us, with no context, that probably looks super random. But you know, that's the name. Here there be monsters, right? People who subscribe on our Twitch channel and or Fourth Wall or Patreon get a custom monster. So each one of those is a person from among our community. Really? Really? She ran away cackling. Okay, I need to stop with the notes because I keep wanting to work on that. But I need to keep moving. So I'm going to say that those session notes are done as far as the goal for today, at least. And then we're going to give XP, everybody's favorite thing, or one of their favorite things. I guess everybody loves the magic item too. I hope everybody else's projects are going well today. This was definitely one of those days where I got done at least the majority of what I wanted to, but also I found so many more things that I needed to do. That's the way it goes sometimes. But I'm not complaining, frankly. I love this stuff. It's like prep and world building and whatnot is a big part of how a GM plays the game, right? So that's part of why I do what I do. our XP tracker. What day was that session? That was the 28th, 6/28. How many sessions have we had so far this year? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're actually doing better than I thought. It has been a little bit more sparse. Last year we managed 2 sessions per month, almost all year long. So the way that I give XP, so we do XP, we're not milestone, although obviously a lot of times it's going to sort of line up similarly because there will usually be a big chunk of XP for accomplishing a major thing. Thank you, McNick. But I give a flat amount of session XP to all characters that were present to kind of just generally represent their contribution to the story and whatnot. And then I do also do individual XP to try and incentivize people to roleplay their characters more and interact with the world more and whatnot. So the session XP kind of, is just, like I said, just kind of a broad measure of how the role playing and gameplay went. I usually go between 50 and 100 for that. And then that way too, if you have somebody who's missing a lot, it doesn't feel unfair to the other people. Well, why is their character the same? You have all the same levels and perks and whatnot that everybody else does. I also don't want to be overly punitive to that person, but when you're talking about thousands of XP over the course of leveling, little nicks here and there are generally not going to have that large of an effect. Makes sense. The cipher system is very interesting in that XP is awarded for players, letting you subject them to random shenanigans. They call them GM intrusions. Okay. I mean, that's not altogether different from kind of what I'm talking about. So, and I guess I did skip a step. So there's the session XP, which is just broadly kind of how was the role play and how was the progress of the session. Then there's group things, right? Oh, we had a combat, we had a major group social encounter or whatever, where everyone will get a separate chunk of XP for that. And then I do individual stuff. You made a decision that was particularly difficult for your character. You avoided metagaming at a time when that was especially hard. You had a near-death experience. Whatever. You mentioned that you're into horror. Do you know much about the Call of Cthulhu system? I think this is a session where we're going to do more session XP because there were a lot of sacrifices on people's behalfs for the big character reveal that we had. But that also meant that because we spent so much time on that character reveal that we didn't have a ton of time for other people to do other things. I don't want to just be like, oh, hey, great role playing. Enjoy your 50 XP for the session. You love horror, a little bit about COC, but you haven't jumped into it just yet. So I have not played COC yet, not in a campaign setting, but I do own the Keeper's Handbook or whatever the heck they call it. And I love a lot of things about that system. I really want to play it. In fact, we have later this year, probably this month, actually, we have a vote. We had a stretch goal from a subathon on Twitch earlier this year. And the stretch goal was for a one-shot that would be either set in our D&D campaign in the Kingdom of Rin, or would be a Call of Cthulhu one-shot. And I've been working on doing some teaser trailers and stuff for each of those, and we're going to do community voting on which one it's going to be. But on the note of XP and leveling, I love the way that they do it, because in Call of Cthulhu, you're always rolling against your own stats, and you want to roll below your own stats. So as you get better at something, it gets easier to roll under it. However, it also gets harder to continue to level it. It's the short version. So if I have, say, 50 skill in something, like I'm an average car driver or whatever, if we have an investigation and I successfully, for whatever reason, there was a skill check, like, oh, there was a slippery road during a car chase or whatever, and I successfully used drive auto, then I get to put a little mark by it. And then at the end of the investigation, it's not just the session, but like once you finish, kind of like an arc or whatever, then any skill that you successfully used during that investigation, you get to make a level up attempt. And so whereas normally when you're using a skill, you want to roll under it. So if I've got my 50 in drive auto, then I want to roll. I forget if they count equals to or not, but like I want to roll a 49 or less, right? So then if I get better at it, if I get 60 skill in drive auto, then I want to roll a 59 or less, right? So on the flip side, the level up check is you have to roll higher. So like I said, as you get better at something, it gets harder to get better at it, which is how reality works, right? It's much harder to go from it's easier to go from being a neophyte to being moderately skilled in something than it is to go from being moderately skilled to being an expert in something. So if I've got, 50 is a bad example. So let's say I've leveled up my drive auto a few times. My skill's now 65. We have another investigation. I successfully use drive auto. I get to make my level up check. I now only have a 35% chance of leveling up drive auto again. So I like it for two reasons. One, it's use-based, right? So unlike something like D&D where it's like, oh, congratulations, you killed a goblin. Now you know a new language. What? Some of that stuff doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So it's usage-based. And then two, it's easier at the beginning and harder later on, which I think is a really cool, like, mechanical way to represent reality. Really enjoying GMing so far. The variant you're working with adds an additional injury mechanic for stress take. Oh, very cool. Maybe after we finish assigning XP, I'll show off the little trailer that I did for the Call of Cthulhu one shot. I have not made the trailer yet for the D&D one shot, but I can show you the Call of Cthulhu one. Do we have players for the one shot? No, not yet. We'll be recruiting from the Discord. Well, we don't know if it's going to be the Cthulhu one or the D&D one. That'll be voted. Actually, I'm going to throw. Hopefully these have batteries. Oh, 60% battery. Oh, yeah, we good. That way I'll be able to hear what you guys can hear. But you wouldn't want to play in the D&D, McNack? I'm just teasing. I figured you would. Was there really anything else from the last session that needs individual XP? I don't think so. Nothing else is jumping out at me. It does look like our next live session is probably shaping up to be the 19th of July. It seems the most likely from people's availability. 7. You were in 2 Cypher System one-on-one campaigns. One was a Dark Sun style game, and the other was a weird stuff college mystery game. Oh, cool. Oh, right, Call of Cthulhu. The other reason that I brought it up, for anybody that's interested, but especially for Isadora, since we were talking about horror and whatnot. The other reason that I think that the Call of Cthulhu system is really cool is they write single-player one-shots for it. I think the first one is free, and then I think the others are like $5 or something if you want to buy them. But they're like, if you ever read Choose Your Own Adventure novels, if you know what I'm talking about when I say that, they're like Choose Your Own Adventure novels with a TTRPG flair. So you go through it, and then it's like a hyperlinked PDF. You can get physical copies too, but the hyperlinked PDF is really nice. And then it'll say, hey, make this check or whatever, roll the dice. Okay, cool. Now, like, click on the hyperlink to jump to, item number 23 or whatever. And then click on there to jump to item number 328 or whatever. Some of them are a ton of fun. I've tried, I think, 3 of them. And the first one, the one that's free, it's called Alone Against the Flames. I think it's free at least. The whole purpose of it is it's a how to play. So even if you don't know anything about Call of Cthulhu, you don't know anything about tabletop role-playing games or whatever, you could download, like I said, I'm 99% sure it's free. You could download Alone Against the Flames from Chaosium and try out Call of Cthulhu all by yourself. It's really neat. We've done it on stream a couple of times where we let chat vote on like what our decisions are going to be. That has varying degrees of success, but it's always fun. We've actually costumed up for that as well. On that note, let me find... that shouldn't be a hard picture to find. Profile. Oh yeah, well, these costumes also look really, really cool in black and white, which this picture is not, but this was a picture of us for, I think, Halloween when we did, I think it was called Alone Against the Tides. This was a lot of fun. Thank you. All right, let me run down that video. It's been a little while since I fiddled with it, so this might take me a quick second. Oh no, actually I found it pretty quickly. Oh god. Is it super loud for you? Oh no, it looks like you're not even getting the sound. Okay, hold up. Different problem altogether. Okay, if I go here, you should get audio from this now. So this is, if you missed the context, because this was a little while ago, this is the promo that I made for the Call of Cthulhu one-shot that we might be doing, probably be like early August. But I'm making a promo for a D&D one-shot and a promo for a Call of Cthulhu one-shot, and then we're going to let the community vote on which one we're doing. I'm really proud of this.
rained down on the street outside and wind shook my windows in their frames. I poured the last of my bottle and put my feet on the beat-up wooden desk, thinking through the events of the last week one more time. The ashtray, Ash Moretti's speakeasy, burned down on Saturday in the dead of night. The fire was so hot they couldn't even scrape him off the floor. No body, no goodbye. Just smoke, broken bottles, and a scorched piano coughing up ash in the rain. Since then, things have been getting strange. Cops took a dock hand to Arkham Asylum after he tore out his own eyes while babbling about seeing too much. A priest locked himself in his confessional, and people say they hear scratching sounds from inside. And another investigator, one of my competitors, turned up dead at Miskatonic Library, eyes wide open, clutching some books about archaeology. None of it seemed connected on the surface, but I couldn't leave it at that. Moretti's widow came to me, Lucia, didn't cry, didn't beg, just put an envelope on my desk and said, "Find out what really happened." I didn't ask why she came to me instead of the cops. I knew Ash. Not well enough to miss him, but enough to know he had his fingers in a lot of pies. Booze smuggling, bribery, maybe worse. I finished my drink and leaned forward to stare at the evidence for the 100th time. A charred ledger from the ashtray, a train ticket from Kingsport, and the glass bottle I just finished emptying. I went to throw the bottle away, but stopped when something caught my eye. The glass had a strange maker's mark hidden beneath the label. I squinted at it and got closer, but couldn't quite make it out before my eyes crossed and I blacked out. I woke with a start and cursed under my breath. None of this makes any sense, but I've avoided it as long as I can. It's time to ask a favor from Johnny Mancini and hope that I live long enough to pay him back. I don't know what Ash was mixed up in, but it wasn't just booze and bad company.
Yeah, that's the teaser for Bottled Secrets and Broken Saints. Like I said, I'm very, very pleased with how that turned out. And we'll be doing a similar one for the D&D one shot that we'll be voting on. I just haven't, the video's not done yet. The audio's done, I suppose, if anybody's curious about that. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let me, let's ride down the rabbit hole. Let me find the audio. Okay, I do believe it's this. Yeah, I don't have any visuals for it. Let's see, can I pipe that sound through this screen? Oh, I can. Hold on. I think you'll be able to hear it now while I'm on this screen. So the setting for the D&D one shot is going to be the Fort Leona that I showed you guys earlier, that our players are going to be owners / in command of. There, of course, when you are landlords, there are potentially people who live on your land. So the one shot for D&D, if people end up choosing that, will be people playing as some of the settlers moving on to the land owned by the player characters in our main campaign, and kind of having like a frontier adventure, which I think will be neat. So this is the little folk song that we put together for the I don't have a cute name for it yet, like Bottled Secrets and Broken Saints, but for the settlers on their land.
Oh, the king gave land where the wild
Oh, it's quiet.
Hold
on.
The forest deep.
Why is that so quiet? Hopefully I don't turn it up too much.
And the mountain trail with oh, the king.
That's closer. It's still a little quiet. Hold on.
Oh, the king gave land where the wild wind.
Oh, closer. Okay, I'm just gonna max it out. I hope it doesn't get crazy loud later.
Oh, the king gave land where the wild winds wail, past the forest deep and the mountain trail. With hammer, hope, and a worn-out blade, we came to build, not be afraid. Raise the beams and drive the stake, sow the seeds and mend what breaks. Through rain and cold and beast untamed, we'll make a life on the land we've claimed.
The city hums with the calm design, but things move fast past the borderline. Got faith and steel and hope and song, and hearts that know where they belong.
Raise the beams and drive the stake, sow the seeds and mend what breaks. Through rain and cold and beasts untamed, we'll make a life on the land we've claimed. The quartermaster taught us what to sow, the cleric blessed the heart's warm glow, the ranger keeps the paths inside, and the blacksmith burns through every night. We'll bury friends beneath this loam, but still we build, still call it home. The world may bite, the gods may test, but we won't yield, we do our best. Oh, 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 oh. Raise the beams and drive the stake, sow the seeds and mend what breaks. Through blade and faith and dreams unshamed,
We'll make our mark on the land we've claimed.
So honestly, I just really like that as a piece of music. I am very happy with how that turned out as well. It's hard because I'm gonna want to, I think, whereas the Call of Cthulhu one just has that one photo in the background. I almost, it's gonna be hard for me to resist wanting to make more of at least like a slideshow of photos to go with that. But at the same time, I've already put kind of an insane amount of work into trailering. And I'm not sure if I should put that much more into it or not, but I am happy with the song. For anybody wondering, so I wrote the lyrics, I did all the poetry for that, but obviously I don't have the resources to pay a whole group of performers. So that's computer performance, but I did write all the poetry. You guess they were never taught about Ranger Danger in school. What about Ranger Gates? Have you been around our EQ streams well enough to know what I'm, the joke that I'm making when I say that, I suppose? One of the games that we regularly stream is EverQuest, the old original 3D MMORPG from 1999, and the Ranger class in that game does not have access to the teleport to spawn point spell that is called Gate, Gate. So it was often joked that Rangers can gate, just like spellcasters can. They just do it by dying and respawning. Gotta start a community choir. I mean, that would be amazing. I would love to do that. I also don't know diddly about singing myself, but would love to learn. We actually, if I remember correctly, I think I wrote that poetry during one of these Working Wednesday streams. I'm pretty sure. The Call of Cthulhu one I didn't, because obviously that's not D&D, and so I usually keep the non-D&D stuff to a relative minimum during these streams, but I'm pretty sure the lyrics for The Land We've Claimed, I'm pretty sure I wrote that during one of these streams. Yeah, community choir would be amazing, actually. We do have, okay, hold on. I have one more thing for show and tell. There's been a lot of new people here today, and you seem to be enjoying what I've been showing off. So, and I think we have made a lot of cool things over time, both ourselves directly and the community. So, this is what we start our D&D sessions with. I've mentioned earlier Bana, the Peace Bringer. And as I do have a bit of a mind for poetry, I wrote also in rhyme a poem that is a prayer to the Peace Bringer. And then one of our friends, who is actually a professional voice actor, read it for us, which is super neat. And that's part of why I like showing it off. So... I have to find it. Oh, wait. I know where it is. That's what I do have a visual for as well, if I can find it. The prayer. Oh, right. But the... Well... Okay. I have two visuals, I suppose.
The peace was them all but a few.
Wait, what the heck? Why does my video not have video? A lot of voice actors are in TTRPGs. It makes, actually, ironically, this this friend who I'll give a proper shout out to here in a second, as far as I know, does not play TTRPGs, but he was happy to help.
The peace, then King.
There we go. Okay, I found the one I wanted. Okay, so first we've got this that I made, which I don't expect you to sit here and read the whole thing yet, but I thought it looked pretty neat. I really liked the font that I found for it. I thought it gave kind of that vibe of, you know, like something that had been written down. I feel like I made a different version of this where the big letters were in red, because I feel like that's what you usually see with this type of writing, so I must have opened the wrong one. But then we also have our friend's performance of it. So this is at the Bookfather. on Twitch, and I believe that's also his name on YouTube now as well. Recorded this for us.
The peace was lasting, long and true, from mountains to the ocean's blue. Man and elf and dwarf and gnome lived together, hearth and home. The cities grew, then kingdom came, the wise and true. Long may he reign. From cult to church, the truth was spread. The heretics were filled with dread. First they lied, and then they stole. The peace we had, no longer whole. They sought to kill and undermine, but truth was found before the time. We banished them, all but a few, then built ourselves a kingdom new. No longer marked by war and sin, Banar did give his grace to men. No gods, nor fiends, not great nor small, can penetrate his peaceful wall. From mountains to the ocean's blue, this peace will last us long and true.
There is a version of that with music as well, but it is a song that I have rights to use in videos, but not to use in live streams, which is annoying. So I can only upload videos that have the one with the music in the background of it. Yeah, shout out to the Bookfather for the awesome read there. And thank you all for being here. It's been a lot of fun. I am going to go ahead and wind it down, though the spell component system will have to wait until next time, but that's fine because it's already written in the session notes that need expanding anyway. So if you had fun with this, I will be back here live streaming on youtube.com/HereThereBeMonsters next Wednesday. That is the 9th of July. Starting, the start time's always a little bit tentative, but starting sometime around 3 to 3:30 Pacific, and then going for 1 to 2 hours is kind of usually what we shoot for. I went a little extra long today because I was having fun. But Isadora, especially, it was great to meet you and chat with you. I would love to continue to hear more about your world building and your projects. I hope we can talk again sometime. To you and everybody else who's new, if you enjoyed the vibes and you want to be a part of our community, the link's in the chat, discord.gg/HereThereBeMonsters. And if this is the last time that we talk, if you just enjoyed the lurk, but for whatever reason, Wednesdays aren't normally a good time to come back and hang out or whatever, that's okay. I just want to say thanks for spending your time with me today. I hope you did well on your own projects that you were working on. And great to meet you too. Join the Discord. And oh, that's so amazing! Thank you so much, Isadora. Heck yes, I seriously look forward to talking more with you. It was a pleasure. I see you there. Excellent. You've already figured out the reaction rolls too. That's amazing. Thanks for hanging out, Soundagal. Appreciate it. And I always sign off the same way. So if you're new here, this is new for you. If it's not, then hopefully it's an old classic. But like I said, thank you again for spending part of your hump day with me. And as always, take care and be excellent to each other. Also, sorry, but if you're still here, Isadora, I thought that you meant that you joined at the free tier. You signed up and joined as an artisan on the Patreon. Thank you so much. That is incredibly kind of you. I know I may have missed you. You may have tuned out when I put up the stream ending screen. But holy crap! Thank you. If you can still hear me, one of our mods or I will reach out soon for your monster design.